Olga of Kyiv appears differently in three worlds: a Byzantine ceremony, a German mission, and a Rus chronicle of vengeance. Placing those records beside one another changes both her biography and the meaning of Rus power. The earliest firm evidence presents a ruler operating across courts, routes, and competing religious connections. The later chronicle gives her a dramatic past designed for moral and dynastic memory. Olga governed after the death of her husband Igor. The primary chronicle says the Drevlians killed him while he collected tribute. Its detailed explanation was written generations later and shaped as a warning about excessive exaction. Igor's death left their son Sviatoslav too young to rule independently. Olga consequently exercised authority within a political system built through personal tribute relationships. Rus leaders depended upon armed retinues, river transport, negotiated submission, and seasonal collection. Kyiv's position above the Dnieper connected northern forest regions with the Black Sea. Goods moved southward through many communities rather than along an empty corridor. Wax, furs, honey, captives, silver, textiles, and equipment passed through unequal exchanges. Boats faced rapids, portages, changing water levels, and threats from steppe powers. Igor's death exposed the danger when tribute demands exceeded a ruler's protection. The chronicle responds with 4 elaborate revenge episodes attributed to Olga. She buries one Drevlian embassy, burns another, and destroys elite opponents at a feast. Finally, birds carrying burning material supposedly ignite the town of Iskorostan. No contemporary source confirms their choreography, speeches, or extraordinary final device. The tales should not be repeated as straightforward eyewitness history. They portray Olga as mastering every proposed form of submission. Each Drevlian attempt to control her instead becomes an instrument of their defeat. For the chronicler, calculated revenge establishes authority before Christian wisdom transforms her reputation. Beneath it may lie memory of violent conflict after Igor's death. Later, the chronicle credits Olga with regulating tribute across affected lands. It mentions fixed dues and collection centers across affected lands. These measures are often interpreted as an effort to make extraction more predictable. Their precise institutional form cannot be reconstructed from the brief later account. Still, reform after a fatal tribute dispute carries persuasive political logic. Regular places and expectations could reduce dangerous improvisation by rulers and retinues. For subject communities, predictability did not make tribute voluntary or equal. Produce and labor still moved upward through relationships backed by coercion. That distinction marks a broader change in Rus government. Kyiv became a place where tribute could be converted into prestige abroad. Byzantine records move Olga from chronicle drama into documented ceremony. Emperor Constantine VII's Book of Ceremonies describes a reception for Olga, ruler of the Rus. The visit is generally dated to 957, although scholars have debated aspects of its chronology. These details show Olga recognized as a diplomatic actor at Constantinople. They do not provide a private conversation or reveal every aim behind her journey. The imperial text was designed to preserve ceremonial order. Its precision reflects Byzantine hierarchy more directly than Olga's own perspective. Her entourage included women and representatives connected with Rus political society. Diplomacy depended upon interpreters, servants, sailors, provisions, and gifts beyond the named elite. Constantinople offered markets, sacred spaces, palaces, and controlled access to imperial favor. Arrival there completed an arduous journey from the Dnieper through the Black Sea. Olga's baptism is closely associated with Byzantine contact. The primary chronicles places her conversion at Constantinople and gives it an elaborate narrative. Constantine's ceremonial account does not explicitly describe a baptism during the recorded reception. Some historians think she was already Christian before the visit. Others accept conversion in Constantinople, but dispute the chronicles surrounding details. Her Christian name, Helena, connected her with the imperial religious world. The exact date and circumstances remain less secure than her later Christian identity. Conversion could hold sincere religious meaning while also shaping diplomacy. Christian practice linked Olga with clergy, texts, ritual sponsorship, and foreign courts. It did not immediately convert her son or all communities under Rus influence. Sviatoslav remained associated with pre-Christian practice in the Chronicle tradition. Religious change therefore entered the ruling family unevenly. Another external record reveals Olga looking west after Constantinople. In 959, envoys from a Rus queen called Helena reached King Otto I. They requested a bishop and priests for their people. Otto sent Bishop Adalbert, whose mission departed in 961. The effort failed, and Adalbert returned after companions were killed. Sviatoslav's growing authority may have narrowed Olga's ability to support the mission. Local opposition, political realignment, or misunderstanding may also have contributed. The failed embassy demonstrates that Rus Christianity had no predetermined institutional path. Olga explored connections with more than one Christian power. Byzantium did not simply dictate every religious choice made at Kyiv. Ottonian interest, likewise, could not establish a church without durable local backing. Rus politics operated between imperial centers while remaining constrained at home. Sviatoslav eventually ruled as a campaigning prince across the steppe frontier and Balkans. His priorities differed sharply from the Christian courtly future later associated with Olga. She probably retained influence in Kyiv while he conducted distant wars. Chronicle credits her with caring for his sons and defending the city during danger. Olga died in 969, according to the Chronicle chronology. Her grandson Vladimir later adopted Byzantine Christianity for his polity in 988. That later conversion made Olga especially important to Christian historical memory. The Church eventually honored her as a saint and precursor. Hagiographic admiration intensified the contrast between avenging widow and enlightened convert. It also encouraged later audiences to read her life as preparation for Vladimir. Such hindsight can obscure the uncertain choices she actually confronted. Her world contained no guarantee that Kyiv would become Christian, Byzantine-aligned, or dynastically stable. Every embassy tested possibilities that could still fail. The world shaped by the Rus was multilingual and geographically extensive. Scandinavian-linked elites formed only one component among Slavic, Finnic, steppe, and Byzantine connections. The name Rus described changing political communities, not a modern nation projected backward. Olga's documented diplomacy shows those communities becoming legible to distant imperial administrations. Her tribute reforms, if accurately remembered, point toward more regular internal extraction. Together, external recognition and internal organization strengthen durable rulership centered on Kyiv. Yet this development imposed costs upon tributary populations and people carried into captivity. Court ceremony rested upon resources gathered far beyond palace walls. Christian institutions later redirected some wealth toward churches, clergy, and charitable ideals. The strongest conclusion returns to the contrast among Olga's surviving records. Byzantine protocol securely places her at an imperial reception. Ottonian evidence confirms an attempted Western Church connection under the name Helena. The revenge cycle remains later literature, possibly preserving conflict beneath its crafted design. One precise unknown endures: where and when Olga actually received baptism. That uncertainty does not diminish the transformation visible around her. Olga linked tribute country, river capital, and foreign court without controlling every consequence. Her choices opened Christian and diplomatic routes that her own son did not fully follow. The Rus world after Olga was more organized, internationally connected, and religiously contested than the one she inherited.